Extract from Wuppertal Times. Apart from the people I'd met in Göttingen, whom I was working in an opera project with at the time, the first person I'd met at the audition itself was a young singer of Jewish-Ukrainian origin called Maria Katz. She was petite in stature. Her father had been a Soviet pioneer band leader, which had reputedly been so famous before the Wende he'd been permitted to tour with them in the West. We got into a cordial but nervous conversation outside the audition hall and established a working attraction to one another. I remember coming back into the college after the audition for the theory exam the next day. She looked at me, sweetly blushing, and said, "Verstanden?" embellished with the competent singer's raise-in tone so as to apply the interrogative. Ich auch. The faux pas in the piano audition had been with Jan Enes, my finest ever music tutor and brother of famous violin soloist James Enes. Upon asking me the name of the piece I was going to play, I had replied abruptly, "Dunno." "Dunno," he said. "Let's call it Minuet, Waldock. Minuet Ne by Johann Krieger. God help us." There were 20 or 30 of us auditioning, and only 2 were taken by Barbara Schlick. Liga Jankowska from Latvia, otherwise known as Liga from Riga, and Maria. I had been asked to make up the numbers as Alex's third fresher on the proviso that the other countertenor would compete with me during our study time there. Unfortunately, he had chosen to go to The Hague by then, and there could only be one, me. They had wanted him even more, apparently. Alex Stevens had pushed it. He wanted to work with me, and by negotiation she would have worked with him in friendly competition after I had pleaded for a second chance to study solo singing before walking out of the room. After the business of auditioning, I went for lunch. Meandering in the general direction of the main station and searching for a cafe, not knowing really where to go, I found Laurentiusplatz, a big square in Wuppertal, and my beloved Angel Cafe. I met a future girlfriend, Vesna Bajkovic, there, the nursing student for the first time in the process, serving coffee. She had just turned 18 back then, a German-Croatian girl who had entered into the savagery of leftist techno parties and man-eating. She had a tongue piercing associated with this identity, to which she clearly pertained. When I asked her about the student scene in Wuppertal, she replied rather shyly that it was very good, but you needed to know where to go. She was very shy at first, indeed almost reclusive. She didn't know me. I was clearly from outside the area, asking too many questions for her liking. How we became friends was revealed later on that day by sheer coincidence. I talked my way into having an interview for a flat with another woman at college called Vera Fry. She, in turn, had lived in the same accommodation and thus proven to be my other new flatmate. That's how I got at least 2 of the 5 votes, or each of the 5 rooms in our flat in the bag. It was all working out with beginner's luck. It seemed like an all-too-easy version of Murphy's Law, the other way round. Vera just happened to have studied at the University of Kassel, where she'd already completed a degree in architecture. For reasons I will later explain, she now aspired to attaining a second bachelor's degree in singing and was starting all over again. Indeed, I had studied in Kassel University myself on a free taster course in Hanseatic art history, sang in the Kassel University choir and in the Kassel Bach choir under Norbert Turner's, of which she had been a member the previous year. On paper, we were the best of friends because we'd lived there at the same time and had not previously known one another. It was all such a perfect day in the last of the summer sun, but Vera's friendship with me was to be a turbulent one, which turned very sour indeed before too long.